Faith leaders are speaking out on what they say are the dangers of Christian nationalism and its impact on our democracy and government.
This is in response to Senator Josh Hawley's words advocating for Christian nationalism a week ago. Our David Emilati is breaking down the conversation for us in studio tonight.
So these religious leaders today tell me their biggest fear is violence in the aftermath of Senator Hawley's speech, one where he advocates for Christian nationalism but insists he is for religious tolerance. I'm told by the panel of faith leaders today the issue with professing advocacy of Christian nationalism is that the stance denies religious freedom to Jews, Muslims, LGBTQ Christians, and people of color.
And some will say that I'm advocating Christian nationalism, and so I do.
That excerpt of last Monday's speech by Senator Josh Hawley continues to make waves in our country.
Senator Hawley, your fantasies of tyrannical control aren't welcome here. Missourians love our freedoms and our neighbors. Missourians know better.
And pulled together religious leaders in Missouri this Monday, condemning the senior senator's words.
Christian nationalism is not compatible with religious tolerance or religious freedom, because it's saying we will have a Christian nation. Sorry, Muslims, sorry, Jews, sorry, atheists. This nation isn't for you the same way it's for others. At best, we'll tolerate you being here, but you don't get the same level of rights as others.
Progress Missouri, branded as Missouri's progressive communications hub, sat down with a handful of religious leaders from Springfield to Jeff City about why they say Hawley's words are dangerous for Missourians.
First of all, which Christianity? Christianity is 2 billion people across the world. It's a very diverse religion. So when they talk about a Christian nation, they really mean a very specific form of mostly white, mostly evangelical, conservative, straight, patriarchal Christianity that often becomes white Christian nationalism.
Last week, Senator Hawley said his focus is keeping the left from destroying the First Amendment and religious liberty our country is built on.
It's a fact of history, not open to debate. It's a fact of history that we were founded by Christian believers and that our fundamental ideals, including those in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, all come to us from the Christian tradition. That's just a fact. And I think it's worth preserving. Some will say now that I am calling America a Christian nation. And so I am.
I just don't understand why Senator Hawley does not wish to stand with all Missourians. His rhetoric undermines values held dear and threatens the very fabric of our democracy.
Now, this panel of religious leaders didn't have any action steps beyond encouraging Missourians to get out and vote in elections. The senator was not available for interview or comment today, I'm told, because of his schedule. His office says he denies advocating America to be only about one religion, Christianity. In studio, David Emilati, First Alert 4.